Why is it that you start the day with good energy, but by the time you reach the tasks that actually matter, you feel drained, scattered, and reactive? It is not because the important work is harder. It is because you have already spent most of your attention budget on tiny, invisible decisions that add up like compound interest in the wrong direction. Choosing what to wear, scrolling through options for breakfast, debating which email to reply to first, or even deciding whether to sit or stand at your desk. Each of these micro decisions consumes neurochemical fuel. The shocking truth from neuroscience is that your brain treats every choice, no matter how small, as a withdrawal from the same limited pool of cognitive energy. This is why by the afternoon you are often running on fumes, not because the day was objectively difficult, but because the invisible tax of decision fatigue has already emptied your reserves. This is not a time management issue. This is a neurobiology issue. And the solution is not more willpower. The solution is installing a protocol that removes decision fatigue from your day before it ever appears. That protocol is called the Micro-Leverage Decisions Protocol. It is designed to free up your brain's resources for the work that moves the needle, while locking in trivial choices in advance so they never burn fuel again. Think of it like programming autopilot for the small stuff so you can fly manually only when it truly matters. The first step is understanding the science of decision fatigue. Each decision burns glucose and activates your prefrontal cortex, the region responsible for planning and focus. The problem is that your brain does not distinguish between deciding on a life-changing contract or deciding between two shirts in the morning. Both require activation. Both cost energy. This is why elite performers reduce the number of daily micro-decisions to almost zero. Steve Jobs wore the same outfit every day. Athletes eat the same breakfast before competition. Military commanders pre-program their routines so their minds are clear when the real battle begins. You may not need to go to those extremes, but you do need a system. Action Step 1. Create your daily decision anchors. These are fixed defaults for recurring choices. Pick a set of 3 breakfast options and rotate them automatically instead of deciding fresh every morning. Choose a basic wardrobe formula so that getting dressed requires no thought. Pre-schedule your lunch, workouts, and even when you check messages. Once anchored, these decisions stop burning energy. Action Step 2. Set boundaries for reactive choices. Every time you open your inbox or your social media feed, you are opening a casino for your attention. Instead, schedule 2 specific windows in the day for communication: morning check-in and evening closeout. During the rest of the day, you lock the gate. This alone can reclaim hours of cognitive energy that would otherwise be bled out in micro-decisions about whether or not to reply. Step 3. Implement pre-decisions for work structure. Instead of sitting down and wondering what to work on, decide in advance the exact sequence of tasks for the day. The protocol here is to plan at night, not in the morning. Why? Because at night you are not in execution mode, so you can decide logically without wasting tomorrow's fuel. Then when the morning comes, you simply follow the script. This eliminates the hidden drain of constant prioritization. Think of your brain like a computer. Every time you leave a program running in the background, it slows down the entire system. Open loops and unfinished micro-decisions are those background programs. The Micro-Leverage Decisions Protocol is the equivalent of closing every unnecessary window so your processor can run at full speed on the one task that matters. Let me give you a real-world example. Imagine 2 professionals starting their day. The first wakes up, scrolls through their phone, debates what to eat, flips between news apps, answers messages as they come in, tries to decide what to start on, and by the time they reach their priority project, they have already burned half their mental fuel. The second professional wakes up, follows a preset breakfast plan, wears a pre-decided outfit, checks messages only at a scheduled time, and sits down to a task list already locked in from the night before. Their brain arrives at the hard work still full of fuel. Who do you think wins the day? The difference is not intelligence. The difference is the system. Decision fatigue kills more potential than laziness ever could. The Micro-Leverage Decisions Protocol is your antidote. Step 4 is to ritualize resets. Even with anchors, your brain accumulates small leaks. The fix is a reset ritual between work blocks. At the end of one task, write a 1-sentence closure note. This task is complete. Next step will happen tomorrow at 9. This tells your brain it can release the loop. Then take 30 seconds to breathe deeply or stretch. That micro reset clears decision residue so you can enter the next block fresh. Without it, attention drags like mud from one context into another. Step 5 is installing choice filters. The truth is, most choices you face each day are not worth making at all. The protocol is simple. If a decision does not affect your long-term strategy, automate it or delegate it. If it does not change the game, it does not deserve your brain's prime energy. Think of it as a firewall. Only high-value decisions get through. Everything else gets handled automatically. High performers treat their decision-making capacity as a scarce and valuable resource, not as something to throw at trivialities. Your brain is not built to handle endless forks in the road. It is built to focus deeply on a few decisive levers. By pre-deciding the small stuff, you build a runway for those levers to carry full weight. And here is where the protocol turns from theory to leverage. Because once you start using it, you realize how much of your fatigue was self-inflicted by trivial choices you did not even notice. The hidden leak is not the hard project itself. The hidden leak is deciding 10 times an hour on meaningless options. By cutting those leaks, you reclaim not just energy, but clarity and momentum. The compound effect is enormous. Imagine reclaiming even 10% more focus every day. Over a week, that is almost a full extra day of cognitive energy. Over a month, that is 4. Over a year, it is 50. That is not hypothetical, that is math. And this is why the micro-leverage decisions protocol is not optional if you want to compete at the highest levels. While others are grinding in exhaustion by mid-afternoon, you will be accelerating. While they drown in trivialities, you will be preserving fuel for the few moves that actually matter. This is what separates the reactive from the strategic. And this is only the beginning of the protocol. In the next phase, we will go deeper into the advanced layers that turn this from a productivity hack into a full competitive weapon. Here is where the micro-leverage decisions protocol becomes more than just a productivity tip. This is about rewiring the operating system of how you run your day. Most people treat their brain as if it has infinite capacity. They start the morning making trivial choices and then wonder why they are exhausted before noon. The elite treat their brain as a scarce, valuable resource. They know that every unnecessary choice is a leak, and leaks compound into collapse. The goal of this protocol is not to become robotic. The goal is to direct all of your decision-making energy toward leverage points that create disproportionate returns. Think of it like weightlifting. You can spend your strength lifting pebbles all day, or you can save it for 3 heavy sets that actually build muscle. Micro-leverage means you pre-decide the pebbles, so your brain is free for the heavy lifts. Action step 6 is what I call the nightly lock-in. Before you end your workday, take 5 minutes to set up your next day. Write down the 3 most important outcomes for tomorrow. Preload your calendar with exact time slots. Choose in advance the first task you will start with, so you do not waste mental energy debating in the morning. This single habit shuts off decision fatigue before it starts. When you wake up, you are already running a script instead of facing a menu of options. Action step 7 is the elimination filter. Ask yourself with each decision, does this truly need my input, or can it be automated, delegated, or defaulted? The protocol here is ruthless. Every time you eliminate a trivial choice, you are buying back energy for a strategic one. Elite performers are not smarter than you. They are more ruthless in filtering what gets their attention. That is why they have the fuel to keep going when everyone else burns out. Step 8 is designing micro-leverage rituals. These are small routines that automate whole categories of decisions. For example, have a set grocery list you repeat every week. Have a fixed workout schedule so you do not negotiate with yourself about when to train. Have a shutdown ritual for work so you never debate whether to keep going or stop. These rituals compound. Every one of them saves you dozens of micro decisions, and each of those savings is fuel reinvested into the work that matters. Now let's talk about the deeper psychology. Neuroscience calls it ego depletion, but it is not about your ego. It is about glucose, oxygen, and the firing patterns of your prefrontal cortex. Each decision forces your brain to toggle networks, and the cost is measurable. This is why multitasking feels exhausting. It is not the work itself, but the endless switching between micro-decisions. The micro-leverage decisions protocol is designed to kill that switching tax before it starts. Action step 9 is task batching. Group similar decisions together and resolve them in one block. Handle all scheduling at once. Reply to all emails in one batch. Make all small household decisions in a single planning session. When you batch, you pay the switching tax once instead of dozens of times. The result is a massive reduction in cognitive drag. Step 10 is mental parking. Throughout your day, random thoughts and unfinished decisions will surface. Instead of entertaining them, you capture them in a parking list. This could be a notepad, a digital app, or even a voice memo. The rule is simple. Once it is parked, you no longer hold it in working memory. This prevents your brain from splitting attention across multiple loops. Mental parking alone can free up 30% of your capacity, because it closes hidden leaks that you did not even realize were running. Now here is the truth that most people will never accept. The difference between high output and mediocrity is not the hours you work. It is the number of leaks you close before you start. Decision fatigue is invisible until it crushes you, and then it is too late. The micro-leverage decisions protocol is not optional if you want to play at the top. It is the foundation. Without it, every other strategy collapses under fatigue. With it, your day becomes a field of high-leverage wins. Let's make this practical with an example. Imagine you are launching a critical project. With no protocol, you start the day making 50 trivial choices, burn half your energy, and then approach the project already depleted. With the protocol, you start the day following pre-decided anchors, arrive at the project fresh, and channel all of your focus into execution. One approach leads to frustration and delay. The other leads to breakthroughs in less time than most people spend spinning wheels. And here is the final layer. When you install this protocol and run it consistently, you are not just saving energy. You are training your brain to associate structure with clarity. Over time, the state of high-leverage decision-making becomes automatic. The more you pre-decide, the more your brain adapts to this efficient mode as the default. That is how habits become identity. You stop being the person who is drained by small choices, and you become the person who saves all your power for the decisive ones. That identity shift is the real win. The micro-leverage decisions protocol is not about squeezing a little more productivity from your day. It is about transforming your brain into a high-performance machine that spends energy only where it matters most. Every micro-decision you eliminate is a lever. Each lever multiplies your energy. Stack them and you create exponential returns. This is how you move from reactive survival into strategic dominance. And if you want more systems like this, more codes that rewire how you think, act, and win, subscribe to Success Code. Because decision fatigue is only one battleground. The next protocol we drop may be the exact one that doubles your output, rewires your stress response, or gives you the edge no one else has. Welcome to the arsenal.